Hi. Oh, it's a little bit. Hello, hello. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Today is August 26th. Haven't seen you online for a long time. Let me just check the voice first. Hello. Hi. Oh, seems all right. Good. Okay, let's start. Yeah. I haven't seen you. Basically, I haven't done live stream for quite some time because I was back to Australia in March and I came back to now I'm in Germany. See in my background is Germany. Yesterday was a beautiful day, and this my background actually was in Bingen on Rhine, which is the entrance of Rhine Valley. If you have been to, or if you haven't been to Germany, Rhine Valley is very beautiful, and you can see the sunset. And that's the most famous region for Riesling. I've tried it a bit, so very good. And pretty much the last summer days. So I really, really enjoy that. And yes, we haven't seen each other on my fans online for just streaming for quite some time because I've done quite a lot of traveling. And if you watch my videos, I've done quite a lot of my travel videos. And I don't talk too much about politics these days because I think I'm a little bit sick of that. Um, but many fans, many friends ask me about opinions. That's why today I'm going to talk about some of my just my thoughts on vaccination, on the COVID-19 situation, the post-COVID trend. That's why today we just let's chat. And I just feel, basically, I just feel many people are confused. Well, if you are confused, if you are making some funny judgment, and if you think this word is full of chaos and so many things are not clear, and you are confused, and you have, you probably have opposite views with your friend, your spouse, your kids. That's very normal. You are not alone. I've experienced so many, just your friends, your parents, your kids, and everybody's got their own view. One thing I feel that's why today let's just have a casual chat. I want to, because so many people ask me. That's why I want to talk about my personal views. I just basically feel. I hear. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I just basically feel it's a confusing time. Back to, I'm reading one of the history books. These days, I very much like reading history books because from history, you can see quite a lot the current situations. One of my favorite books is Barbara Chapman's Proud Tower. She's a very good historian. She's talking about the world before World War One. So end of 19th century and early 20th century. Sometimes if you think our problem is our problem because the technology, the new centuries, it's not. When I read Barbara's book, before World War One, it's very similar. The new century, the new, like the 20th century. They have the new technology, they have quantum physics, and many new technologies coming up, like our days. And also they have all sorts of ideologies. So communist, socialism, and capitalism. Yeah. So that's, if you think in our time, 21st century, we're confused. It's not. In history, human beings always confused, especially turning of the new centuries and with new technology. So, yeah, at the moment, I'm reading history books, and from history, I can learn a lot. So if you feel confused, maybe another good idea. A good idea is just to read some history books. That might help you understand humanity and where we came from, and you understand the problem we're facing now. Humanity always facing. Just very, I think. Also, we probably facing, of course, every generation we're facing new problems. I think currently the biggest problem we're facing is information. Information, because there are so many people can't tell the truth, can't tell the difference between truth and false, and they can't tell the difference between fake or true. It's very understandable because we are facing something very new. That means we're facing too much information. We are in the information era, because I think previous generations, they just probably facing from steam engine changing to electronics or something like that. But now it's information age. Also, we're facing the threat of artificial intelligence. When you think about artificial intelligence, don't think about robots. They just movies, Hollywood. But when I think about artificial intelligence, I think more about information. Just for very simple example, like these days on YouTube, or when you do advertising, when I do advertising or promote anything, what I'm thinking is I'm promoting my program or my product to algorithm of YouTube or Facebook. I'm not promoting my program or products to human beings anymore. Wait, what is algorithm? Algorithm is the computer. The AI is behind YouTube. So if you want to, for example, if I want to promote my program on YouTube, I'm not thinking about people, how many people watching or who's watching. I'm thinking about, it's not me, it's everybody or every expert advice. You got to think about the algorithm behind YouTube. If the algorithm like your program will do very well. Not the people. So this is a very big, if you think AI is still very far from your life, it's not. It's already in your life. So, these days when we want to sell something, we don't sell to people. We don't sell to individuals. We sell to algorithm. We sell to the machine, a system. So AI, it's already in your life. Also, when you think about why people are so confused, because people, they are isolated in the ocean of information. What do you say? Oh, you think we have so many information. How can you be isolated? It's very easy. People only watching certain YouTubes. They only watching, or they only talk to people on Telegram or talking to people on WhatsApp. So they're so focused. Their information sources are so narrowed. That means basically behind this, it's very easy. It's a artificial intelligence already control where your information come from, how are you going to digest those information? How are you going to keep getting more information they want you to believe? That's why be very, very careful. That's why these days, every day, I just remind myself, never, ever just go to one channel, believe one certain theory. Basically, you have to keep an open mind, be neutral. You don't, if any theory claim they are the best one, they are the only theory, that must be wrong. Because in this whole world, the whole universe, there's no one theory for everything. Every Einstein, every scientist, they've been looking for one theory for all. They failed. Basically, there's no one theory can apply for everything. So when you are aware of you are believing one theory, and they use this theory to apply to everything, you already in a trap. Do I need an example for you? Not really. I think just like some people believe the QA theory, and they follow that. They don't. I don't want to just. That's just one example. Doesn't matter how many facts tell you it's not right. Doesn't matter. Those people, once they believe something, they believe it first and then find the evidence. It's already a trap. So that's what I'm thinking. If you feel confused, and these days so many people are confused, I'm going to say you're going to be more confused. More and more people will be more confused. And in this new century, we are having too much information, but too little individual thinking power. Just too many people, they can get information, but they can't think critically, independently anymore. You are controlled by other people. You are controlled by artificial intelligence. And this trend is going to be continuing. So the first thing, thinking for yourself. You have to have your independent critical thinking. Please keep all your views neutral. Don't go too left, don't go too far. Stay in the middle. Keep your options open. Otherwise, you're going to go to some machine's trap. Okay, that's the information part. So after that, I think once I started with this, that'll be easy to talk about vaccination. And yeah, we all feel that, you might have colleagues, you might have family members, your kids, your parents, or your spouse, your friends. I don't know if you're vaccinated or not. You will always have opposite views. And even countries, they have different views. But I think at this stage, it's good to think, just like my background, I think we've already started to see the light on the other side of the tunnel. Because so many countries, especially in Europe, in America, Israel, and the UK, they already open up, because their vaccination rate is already 50 to 60%. So although ideally they can get the herd immunity after reaching 80%, but I don't think at the moment, probably Israel is a little bit close to that, but I don't think not many countries can reach that. It's funny to talk about those countries. I think this word, the country's strategy is pretty much divided into three parts. One part is like Europe and America. They just out of the COVID lockdown through vaccination. Another extreme is those poor countries, like some poor Asian and South American countries or Africa countries. They just don't care. They probably, well, they don't have the vaccination. They don't have the medical resources. So they just let nature take its course. They just, open or because most importantly, they can't afford to lock down the whole country. So they just, natural immunity, people. And they are not afraid of people dying. They probably more people will die of lockdown because of the starvation and economic meltdown. So people dying from COVID compared with those ones probably less important. So the European countries and those poor developing countries, they pretty much out of the COVID-19 trap. Well, I'm from New Zealand and Australia. I think probably everybody noticed that Australia and New Zealand is currently, maybe that's the worst part of the COVID because but I think that's all due to the stupidity and very low efficiency and useless of their government. Basically, their strategy is totally wrong. They thinking about it at this stage after 18 months. They're still thinking of eliminating the virus. They want to get rid of the virus. I can't think about anything more stupid than this. The virus has history more than human history. They have billions of history. Virus existing even before human beings. So there's no way you can get rid of virus or one virus. And COVID and the coronavirus probably the hardest one because they have so many variants. Luckily, most of countries adopt the strategy of just coexisting with the coronavirus. Once I think I have had a look at Germany. Germany is doing, to my opinion, Germany is doing quite well because at the beginning, like this year, they've been criticized a lot because although they developed the Pfizer vaccine, but their vaccine rolled out is very slow, and Germany had lockdowns. But Germany just slowly catching up. At the moment, I think although they're talking about the fourth wave of COVID-19, but there's a new strategy. I think Germany is gradually out of the COVID trap because they have although the cases already reaching like every day, the new infection rate reaching 10,000 per day. But they've changed the strategy. They changed to just really focused on how many people are seriously ill, how many people, the number of hospitalization and death rate. So I think this is a much more rational and real approach. I think from the number I've seen here, from March 2020, there are total 92,000 Germans die of COVID-19. Over 60, the death rate over 60, the death, people die of COVID-19, 95.4% people are over 60, and the 50 to 60 year old is only 3.4% death rate. Under 50, about 1.2%. So currently, Germany has about 64% of people are fully vaccinated. 12 to 17 year old, about 28%, 18 to 59 year old, 65%, over 60, they already reaching 86%. So I think just last couple of days, Germany already they used to have the measurement like how many infections in every 100,000 people. 50, you got to lock down over 100, something like that. So, but now, just a couple of days ago, they changed strategy. They're gonna basically ignore the infection rate because if after the vaccination, if the death rate and seriously ill people, if the ratio is close to a flu, what's the point to lock down the whole country? There's no point. So I think the biggest thing about vaccination is to change the COVID-19 virus, the lethal virus, to the fatal rate is pretty much close to a flu. So no country need to be locked down just because of flu. I think Europe is at the moment pretty much open. Yesterday I think I went to watch the sunset. You can see it's beautiful sunset. Restaurants open, bars open, and Germany has currently, although the infection numbers going up, but they have the 3G policy. Geimpft, getestet, oder genesen. That means you have been vaccinated or you have been recovered from previous COVID-19 illness, or you've been tested. So basically, most people are vaccinated, they are not preparing to lock down the whole country. Just those, and also most of people ill and even die are people from Europe and America's numbers. Most people are not vaccinated. So I think, although that's a personal choice, vaccination really is a personal choice. But if you choose to not be vaccinated, basically you are choose to lock yourself down at your home. I think those people who have chosen to be vaccinated, they should get their freedom. I think that's the new strategy most of European countries and America adopting now. And Australia and New Zealand, they crazy. They like New Zealand, most, I think that's the ridiculous one, is they lock down the whole country, or they lock down Auckland, the whole city, because of one single case. I can't believe how stupid the lefty government is. And that means in Australia and New Zealand, they've been locked down, they closed their border for more than 1 year. And they lock down, they have the most strict lockdown. People can't go out of 5 kilometers out of their home. And they still have the worst cases. Actually, compared with Europe or America, their cases just that's not much at all. I think that's the government, of course, they don't have enough vaccine, and that's why people are protesting. I think people should protesting because the government is totally stupid. They don't know how to handle this crisis. So New Zealand and Australia, they pretty much, I was talking about the extreme, the European countries, richer countries, and poor countries. They pretty much get over the bad COVID-19, but Australia and New Zealand still right in the middle. They can't open up, and they don't have enough vaccine, and they are afraid of people dying, more people dying, or the hospital collapsing. So, but good thing is Australia Prime Minister already claimed end of this year, once Australia reaching 70% of people being vaccinated, the country will be open. I think that makes sense. Yeah, basically, vaccination is the only way out of this coronavirus crisis. Yeah, so that's my opinion on vaccination. And funny things were just very interesting to see some latest trends, because the trends basically I think will be continuing. You know, I just talking to a banker friend yesterday, and they've been out because Germany is open, but they still, most people, even the big banks, people still home office. They still stay at home. I think that's it's just something is changing. I was talking about the AI, definitely the AI and digitalization. The whole trend is going to be faster. And people before, you know, when you're talking about home office, people stay at home, working from home. It's unthinkable. But now, after this COVID, many, many companies just recognize, wow, maybe it is a better way to work like that. You know, we judge an employee's result by how the result of the work, not by they turning up every day just to get to be there 9 to 5. And you really should measure someone's uh, capacity by the result of how they work, not how many days they turn up and how many hours they stay in the office. So I think the trend of home work from home will be continuing. Also, um, about conference, about meetings. And these days, it's much more efficient to have just a video conference. And people travel less. Before, you know, you have company meetings and group meetings, and that's the norm. But now, video conference, that's the norm. It saves so much time. If you can solve a problem just by a video call, you don't need to have a meeting. If you can have a video conference for a group, you don't need to go to another city to have a conference, get a hotel, and everybody having some fun. Of course, maybe it's less fun, but I think company really work out. You know, maybe they just don't need a big office anymore. They just need probably just some support, digital support. And that's why you see so many banks close their branches. It's a new way of business system. Well, that's the trend. Also, I can see the trend of maybe that's some worrying, something we probably have to worry more about. It's about the AI and the information, and also those. If you, I think it's already here, and you will see digital money. You'll see our life, our thoughts being controlled more and more by the computer or by AI. So, but something really the whole world nagging behind is the system to regulate AI, to control AI. And not many people know how to control that, because nobody knows which direction the AI will go and what the problems will have. We basically just get into a new territory without a direction, without a theory guiding us. So the word getting, I think that's the trend. The word people will getting more and more confusing, and the word is going to changing much faster than we thought. Yeah, when the singularity will come, maybe it's not a day of singularity. I think the singularity is happening. So how we're going to survive this, I don't know. But most important thing is to keep calm. That's why I do meditation every day. Just keep calm, keep your brain calm and clear. Don't believe in any single theory. Don't believe in anybody. Don't believe in Anybody talking one theory, use your own brain, making your own decisions. Okay, so maybe I'll do I love traveling. So before the European summer end, I probably will travel more. I wish, yeah, because Europe is open up. But I hope, yeah, we haven't seen each other on live stream for quite a while. So I'll see you next time. Thank you very much, and hope you enjoy the day. Thank you. Bye bye.